Welcome to another book review, and we are going to be reviewing the Book Talk famous Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. So, right out the gate, the book follows Anastasia, competitive ice skater, and Nate Hawkins, captain of the University of California hockey team. So, this book, a little bit overrated. It was good. It's definitely a must read, but I just feel like it was a bit overrated on Book Talk. Now, with that being said, it basically follows a suspenseful enemies to lovers trope of a romantic comedy. I know it's a lot in there, but there were lots of laughter. This mystery that I don't want to spoil definitely keeps you going, keeps you reading. The comedy amongst the characters, I must say, in every hockey themed book I read, the hockey team really is what kind of makes the book, if I must say. I love the budding romance between them two. The characters, very refreshing. I kind of liked Anastasia, even though she did get on my nerves a little bit. I love the character of Nate. I like that he was basically what you see is what you get up front. He, in my opinion, he was very upfront about who he was and what he wanted, what he does. I do wish that in the story they kind of gave more about his background. You get like a full, in my opinion, you get like a full dive into Anastasia's background, but you really don't get a full satisfying dive into Nate's. Considering how small the book is, I really feel like Hannah Grace did a good job of not rushing anything and letting it slowly burn and slowly explain itself. I love that ending where it wasn't leaving you wanting more. Like, if anything, it leaves you kind of wanting more of the world, not exactly of the characters. So I don't know if she is, but if Hannah Grace were to continue writing about the University of California's hockey team, it would make sense because of the supporting characters that you tend to fall in love with. But yeah, spice level, I would say it's like a 7. I would say 5, about between a 5 and a 7. 10 being The Den of Vipers, and if you haven't read Den of Vipers, read it with caution. But yeah, it wasn't to the point where it's like every page it was steamy, but it was the right kind of steam amount. So with that being said, would I tell anyone to read it? If they're into hockey romances, yes. And the only reason I'm sort of into hockey romances because other hockey romances that I've read. So if it wasn't for me reading those first, yeah. If this would have been my first hockey romance, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, to be completely honest. So, with that being said, I would check it out. Because any enemies to lovers romance that starts off with basically they have to share quarters because of an unfortunate circumstance, like one of their hockey rinks being destroyed and they had to share it, which I thought was kind of funny that they made that the reason why they came across each other a lot more frequently, even though it doesn't really seem that much of an issue because they're in college. So it's not like a big inconvenience. One can just practice at one time, the other can practice any other time. The only time it seemed like a big inconvenience is whenever the hockey team tend to run over their practice time, and this one person had to start practicing, so she forced herself into the middle of the rink. But that wasn't even really an issue. It was more of just, honestly, a perfect conflict timing for the story. But it didn't seem like a real inconvenience. So the fact that they made that the center of the reason why they came across more frequently was kind of funny. But in true stances, if you've ever been in college, university level, or any type of level, you realize you really don't run into people unless it's like a forced convenience, because people have to work, they have full lives. So that kind of being a thing was kind of interesting, to say the least, because when I was in college, unless we had basically a similar major, I really didn't see the same people every day. I really didn't. I saw new faces almost every day. And I went to college basically on an island, so yeah. I would say check it out for yourself. Just go with it with your own eyes instead of, ooh, TikTok said it was great type of feel, because I realize whenever you sit there and say, ooh, and get excited about a book based off of book talk, you tend to get let down. So when I read it, I kind of read it on a verge of, I saw it at Target more type of thing. I didn't go looking for it, and I picked it up based off of I'll check it out whenever I feel like it. And I was going through a writing slump, so I said, ooh, maybe a hockey romance would lift my spirits. And it did. It was very funny. It was very enjoyable. So I say, why not? Check it out. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Thanks for watching.